Hello, everybody. Y'all know what time it is if you see my face on a Sunday. It's 2 o'clock. What's up, everybody? How is it doing? While everybody join us, we're going to take a couple of minutes to share this to a couple of places. If you hear me double talking, it's because I forgot to turn my volume on. Let me see. Off. Yep, there we go. Perfect. I did good. All right. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Mama Judy. Just saying hey to everybody as I share it. As y'all come in, I'm just going to share it to a couple of places. Share. Keisha, it is now in your inbox.
Thank you.
That way you can share it as well.
Thank you.
I hope everybody is having an absolutely amazing and fantastic day. And it's good to see you.
Yes.
Yes. And if anyone's like the music in the background, this is instrumental hip hop on Alexa. I would say her name, but she'll start talking to me, like Keisha's did.
And mine's way in another room responding to Carrie. What would you like for me to play next? I'm not talking to you.
She ain't messing around. When you don't want her to hear, she's at attention. All right.
So it's Google. I was live on my reading program last week, and I don't know what I said, but I have two computers in here, and one started talking. I'm just very glad that my verbal response was appropriate for my children's program.
Oh, good. That would have been funny.
Yep. I was like, "Ooh."
I know you don't want to be in the middle of your tutoring and Alexa start playing "Me and That Booty" or something like that. You know that ain't a good look.
Miss Yearby listening to that nasty song.
Miss Yearby, bout it. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. Let's see who else out there. Hey, Bay. Hey, Ryan. I can't really see everybody. If you haven't already gave, hey, Teresa, if you haven't given StreamYard the permission to show your name. So I'm going to try to keep up with it as best I can, but you guys already know the most important part for me today is the conversation I'm about to have, and I put all of my energy and my effort and my heart into these conversations because I know through the power of conversation we can change the world. We can change the world one conversation at a time. Hey, Michael, how you doing, brother? All right, so today, Sunday, August 23rd, we continue the series on the power of perseverance. Alexa, turn on. She listened, y'all. She getting better. She growing up. All right. So it's good. Again, it's good to see everybody. And I hope you get value from this conversation. If you do, like it, share it, put some hearts on it. Matter of fact, before you even start, I know it's going to be a good one. So if you know anybody who's going through something, if you know anybody who just came out of something, if you know anybody who just need a little encouragement to keep going, please tag them. Please share it with them. Share it to the groups that are conducive to being better, because that's what our mission is today, is through the power of our testimony and our conversation that other people will be touched and will be affected in a very positive way. So my guest today is one of my dear friends, my ride or die.
What's up?
Now, what's up, girl? Oh, good. Okay, I'm gonna say I was about to go on those squirrels. See, I got that squirrel mentality. Keisha, how are you doing today?
Don't do squirrel because I'll be right there with you, squirrel.
You already know. Hey, brother Anthony, how you doing today, Keisha? How you doing?
You know, my new saying, I picked it up maybe in the middle of the summer. I am grinding, great, and grateful. How you
go? Girl, I'm right there with you. I'm gonna just go ahead and take your old phrase then. I am better than most. I am better than most. I'm better than good, and some days better than that.
Yeah, better than good.
Yes.
Carrie, will you change the comments so that I can see them on the screen so I can see what people are saying, please?
Well, you know what? The thing about that, look on your far right hand side of your screen and see if you can hit comments and see them.
Okay, well, Keisha, will you hit comments so you can see the comments, please? Oh, we got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. Thank you. We got it fixed now.
Only reason I say that is because sometimes I just get so consumed in conversation that I just kind of rush the comments across the screen just because I'm like trying to pay attention. So that way you can, if I miss something, you can help me out too. Okay. So today we're talking about, hello, Crystal. Hey, Lee. So today we're talking about the power of perseverance. And I think that, we all bring up COVID. So let's go ahead and throw COVID in there first, because that's just something that's obvious. But coming out of COVID, coming out of the first half of the year and going into the second half of the year, leaving summer and going into fall, just changing in general, not just the world, but seasons of our lives. Perseverance is something that is so important, because in order for us to become an elevated part of ourselves, in order for us to move into greater purposes in our life, we have to persevere through a lot of things. So with that being said, Keisha, what would you say is your definition of perseverance?
When I think about perseverance, I think about the fact that we all have something, some obstacles, something that would allow us to say but from freeing our greatness. And I think that perseverance is, no matter what it takes, I am my own rescue. I am responsible for how I behave and how I respond to each and every situation that arises. I can do like Jim Rohn says, I can learn to turn frustration into fascination. And I am going to be hungry, as my mentor, Leslie Brown says, and I'm going to find a way to get what I want. That is my definition of perseverance. Not allowing my circumstances, not allowing the hand that life has given me to be an excuse, but to take the responsibility into my hand and to make it happen for me.
Amen, sister. I believe that. And one of the words that I like that you use is want, to get what we want. I think a lot of us, me included, have had those times in our lives when we get stuck into the rat race of making sure we have what we need. God provides what we need.
Yes.
Our work provides what we want. Because when we take that one step, God takes two. So just keep that in mind as we're talking today. So before we go any further, let's see if anybody else hopped on. Hello, Crystal. I just want to acknowledge everyone. If people are looking in other platforms other than on Unusual Suspects, I may not see your comments, but I apologize. But again, like I said, I will keep up with them as best as I can. All right. So before we go any further, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, Keisha. Who is Keisha? Look, let's get to Keisha.
Let's get to Keisha. Yeah, that's what she had on the screen at first. It was like, get to Keisha. I'm like, just move all that up and stuff out the way. Get to Keisha. Get to Keisha.
This banner here that you guys see before we started, it says getting to Keisha.
Yes.
Are we getting to me or are we getting to know me?
Either way works, though. Either way works, right?
Either way works. So tell the people a little bit about yourself. Well, a lot of it.
Here, a little bit, a lot of it, whatever comes out. So I am Keisha Yearby. I am a public school teacher. I have been teaching for 18 years. I have recently discovered my voice and the power on the inside of me, and the power that I am a living testimony that we are powerful enough to create our dreams. I have launched my Free Your Greatness business in January, where I tutor and mentor children and parents. During this pandemic, I decided to step out on faith. I decided to realize and free my greatness. And I have been tutoring students from here in Virginia, where I am, all the way over to California. During this pandemic, I realized my dream of not only working with who I believe is the best motivational speaker in the world, who changed my life and taught me that I had a voice, but not only being mentored by him, but personally meeting and spending the day with him. And I am
Mm-mm.
currently creating a reading program. I love teaching reading. I have my master's degree in reading. My tutoring is for reading. And I'm using the skills that I have used in my classroom for years that have made children successful. I have not had a child to fail my class in over 10 years. So now
Woo! Come
I am,
on,
yes, in
somebody.
over 10 years.
Somebody put some claps in there. Anybody got kids know good and well. That right there, that's a feat.
It
10,
is
no kid failing, then that's what you mean by no child left behind.
no child left
That we need to clone you, sister.
and I teach in a Title I school. If for
Hmm.
people who understand the dynamics of socioeconomic, I don't always have parents who are doing the homework. I don't always have the students who are coming with a great uh, repertoire of knowledge. And yet I'm still able to figure out, what are you doing? Wait, how are you thinking? Oh, that's what you're doing wrong. And to build them up, to get the children to take the risk. I'm putting that into a program. I believe in building a power of possibility mindset. And my deadline, my goal is to have this program launched by the end of this year or by January 1st.
Somebody, and I know you can. I know you absolutely can. Because all the things that you have done thus far has been absolutely amazing. And it's because you never stop. Like, you know, we all have those days you're like, oh my God, I feel like I'm spinning my wheels, but spin my wheels, I will, because I will not stop. Spin my wheels, I will, because I will catch traction soon enough. And you always catch your traction and you always move forward. And it's because you never stop. And I definitely admire that about you. That's amazing.
Thank
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So I know, like, in talking about Les Brown, and I know you've been on here before, and I know I done asked you to tell the story a million times, but I got to hear. I mean, you can do the Cliff Note version if you want to, but it just is so fitting when we're talking about the power of perseverance. Because Keisha Yearby, as she said, her greatest mentor, and who she believes, and I share the same belief with her, is the greatest motivational speaker ever, not just this time, anytime, Mr. Les Brown. Because he's such a great story. He has such a great background, and he is who he is. And people are like, oh, he's so silly, or oh, he's so this and that. He is him, and that's what I personally love about him the most, because he's unapologetically him, and that's what we all should be, because no one can do us but us. So with him being your, and let me go ahead and say, hey Sheila, hey Raymel, just wanted to tell y'all I see y'all's beautiful faces. Walrita, I think that's how you pronounce her name as well. Hello, hello, hello. I hope everybody's having an amazing and beautiful day, just as amazing and beautiful as you are. So we're talking about the power of perseverance. And I was just asking Sister Keisha to tell us a story about how it all came about that she met her number one mentor, Mr. Les Brown.
So I'll give you the slightly Cliff Note version.
So we got time. This is our program.
Okay. So last year in April, well, I have to say, 2 years ago, when I was in the process of building up my mindset in order to persevere, to get out of a marriage that was preventing me from freeing my greatness. Les Brown's voice spoke out the most to me. He was the one that I felt like that I could connect with, listening to his story and how he was able to overcome his odds of being born in an abandoned building on the floor, growing up in poverty, growing up during the time of Jim Crow, growing up and desiring to be a motivational speaker when Black people were not able to do that. And he was able to persevere beyond that. So that resonated with me so much. And I attribute my success, my being able to use my voice to speak to you today, because I was afraid to talk. Even when I had the answers, the knowledge, I would sit in faculty meetings and questions will come up, or a teacher will be talking about an issue that they had with a child, and I would know exactly what to tell the teacher because I didn't have those problems. Behavior problems in my classroom, no, we figure it out. I learned how to work with each child in a way that they become responsible for their behavior. Now, I'm not saying that I don't ever have issues, but to have the issues where a child being sent out of my classroom and going to the principal's office, any principal that I had, they would know. If I even had a principal to tell a child, if Miss Yearby sent you to me, Something must be really wrong. Well, I did not believe in myself enough to share that with other teachers. Because of Les Brown, because of his trainings, I've been able to share that and to coach other teachers. So in April of last year, I decided, I believe it's Howard Thurman said, there's nothing more powerful than a made up mind. I made up my mind that I was going to meet Les Brown, shake his hand, and that he was going to be my mentor. And every single time he would do a Facebook Live, I would type, I can't wait to meet you and shake your hand. I began to tell people, all of my students and people that I know, I would say, I'm going to meet Les Brown and I'm going to shake his hand. He would send out in his Facebook Lives, if you would like to work with me, I'm only working with a few people, send me an email. I would send an email, and I would send an email, and I would send an email, and I would send an email. Eventually, he changed his email address. And I did the same thing. I can't wait to meet you and shake your hand all throughout the summer. I would visualize whatever you see outside came from someone's mind. And I would visualize sitting next to him, being on his program, and working with him. And I got a little bit jealous over the summer, this time last summer, and I was like, oh, why haven't I got there yet? Why haven't I gotten there? And I continued to do it. Fast forward to December. After sending 17 emails, I finally received a response from his team. And after I received that response from his team, I had to answer some questions, asked about my personal development, asked what I would like to do if I had the opportunity. What did I think that Les Brown could do with me? And his daughter called me and said, okay, well, I'm going to have someone to call you back. It didn't happen. So I had to send more emails and more emails. And eventually one of his staff, his secretary, she ended up sending me a message on my phone. And she said, well, we're all, I think they were overseas. I don't remember where they were. She said, somebody will get back to you as soon as we return to the States. I saw him on Facebook Live. No one got back to me. But she made the mistake of sending me a message on her phone. So I started messaging her on her phone. Finally, at the beginning of December, I was booked in a class to work with Les Brown's daughter. That class was a 7-week class. By the end of that class, Les Brown came on and he said in the last class, it was just me and one other person. And he said, well, you guys are the future of speaking. I'm so proud. I've watched this entire session and I look forward to sharing the stage with you. And I didn't hear anything. This was in March. So I went back to, I can't wait to meet you and shake your hand. April 24th, Les Brown called me and I began working with him, one-on-one, coaching, working with me on my speaking. And from there, we ended up developing a friendship. My coaching has been over. My paid one-on-one coaching has been over. Les Brown has interviewed me about my reading program on his Facebook Live. And now Les Brown is my friend. And so 2 weeks ago, I flew to Atlanta with 2 face masks on. And I took this picture. I don't know if you guys can really see it.
It is.
This is Les Brown in his house. I was able to spend the entire day with him. So when I tell you, you are powerful enough to create your dreams, you are. It happened for me. It started with a belief. It started with visualizing. It started with constantly saying it and telling other people. And when the naysayers came, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. I'm not listening to that. You can do it.
Yes, ma'am. That's what I'm talking about. Anybody who hadn't heard that story before, now I know you know why I wanted her to tell that story again. And if I have on again, she'll tell it again. I absolutely love that story. I love it because it's just so evident. It's like when you see the progression of it. If you ever wanted something and you really knew that it was meant for you, you can also sense the level of frustration that's in the middle of that. And that is what that perseverance is all about. It's when the waves are crashing. You just got to keep moving. Somebody was saying yesterday, I forget what program I was listening to, so forgive me if it's yours. Tag yourself. They were talking about how the ocean is, and how when you're walking into the ocean, it's just beating against you, and it hits you at your knees, and it knocks you off your balance. And like you can take 3 steps, and it push you back 2, and you take 3 more steps, and it pushes you back 2. But it says, and the further it goes out, like the scarier it gets. But eventually, you hit that point where the waves don't affect you anymore.
Wow.
The water may rise, but you're unaffected. And even though you're deeper, where the panic should set in, that's when you start to float. And it gets more and more effortless. The more it gets scarier though, because the depths get deeper. But the effort to keep afloat is easier, but you got to push through all of that in order to get to that spot where you kind of, just float in your purpose. It's when you hit that rail there. And I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, so we got some comments here. Absolutely.
Thank you.
If anyone else has come in, hello, happy Sunday. We love you, and we hope you get great value, because I know I already got some value for myself. So, Keisha, when we're talking about the power of perseverance and how you met Les Brown, and and now your business is thriving, and you're getting ready to launch some new programs as soon as December. Why do you do it all? What is your why? Why do you do it all?
My why is to help give children what I wish I had when I was a child. I was very good in school. I made all A's and B's. So it was not planted into me the positivity that you can do even better than that. It was more so the academics, but it wasn't the mindset. It wasn't the you are powerful. It wasn't the you are worthy of the best that life has to offer. It wasn't the you can do anything that you put your mind to. It wasn't the it's okay to fail. Because honestly, I was raised in the mindset that there's no way that you should go to school every day and bring anything home less than a C. And I did that until I got to college. And when I was in college, I think I was taking organic chemistry. I got a C. So what? Most people might say. But when you have, from a young child, been taught that a C is bad, to me, that was failing. Could I have gone and gotten help? Yes. Could I have gone and gotten a tutor? Yes. But in my mind, that was failing. And guess what I did? I changed my whole major. I changed my whole major over one C because of my mind, because my mind was programmed. And so I want to teach children, first of all, how great they are. I want to teach them to free their greatness. Whenever a child comes into my classroom that first day of school, which is going to be a bit different this year.
Right, yeah.
But the first day of school, I look at each student in their eyes and I say, you have something great on the inside of you. It is my job while you're in my classroom to help you to realize what that greatness is. And it's your job once you leave my classroom to continue to practice and develop it and to share it to the rest of the world. And so when children come to me and they're in my classroom, I give each of them a name. I have had two students in my previous year that I called best-selling authors because they were good writers. I had a student that I think Brandy's still on here. I call her Connector because every time that I would tell a story, she would connect. And then they start to walk and live in that like, wow, I'm a best-selling author. I had one student that was very, very sneaky in kindness. He would pick up papers and pencils off the floor. Most children would, Miss Yearby, I went and picked them up. But I would see him sneak and do it. So I call him my special ninja. So that's my why. I want children to learn at the youngest age possible that you are powerful and that you can create your dreams. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to practice. You're going to take risk, but you can do it. That's why.
Absolutely. I love it. And I think that we find that a lot when, you ask people what that question is. We're all, not all, but it seems to be the people that I've come in contact with, their why is somehow impacted by what they were missing or what was missing around them when they were younger. Like, for me, it's, being that friend, being someone who listens, being the one who randomly asks you, how are you feeling? I don't just ask, hey, how you doing today? How are you feeling today? What's in your mind today? Like, because no one was asking me those questions. And for you, it was giving people permission to be great by accepting all variables of them.
Yes.
And really finding that one piece. I know it's like Raymond, his is leadership, because he never had that as a kid. We all have these different things that, we need. And I think that's brilliant, because through saving other people, we save ourselves. We save our younger selves. We save our future selves. So actually, and we give our future self a chance to free that greatness. And I love that. Absolutely love that. So what would you say, we're straying a little bit from perseverance, but I think it all is going to wind into it, because I just feel this natural flow within the school system. And you're saying, you supplying that outlet in your range. What do you think the school system needs more of? It may not necessarily be missing, but maybe it's, watered down, or maybe it's not looked at enough. What would you say is one of those things that the school system could definitely benefit from more of, or a tweaked version of?
It's missing. You can go ahead and
Okay. I ain't trying to throw no school systems under the bus. And I'm trying to put that as politically correct as possible.
I know you are. But
yeah, I was dancing all around that thing.
You're like, let me know. What is missing? I've been a kindergarten teacher. I haven't taught kindergarten in about 13 years. But what is missing is that very element of teaching children how to think in order to, as I would say, for your greatness. We focus so much on academics. A child walks into kindergarten. Most children have had experience with school, but some people, thanks, Brandy, I got sidetracked when I saw that. Look at the comments. Okay, but
they need more Keisha Yearby. I love it.
Some children walk in, they don't know the difference between a letter, a picture, and a number. And the whole core of the instruction is, by the time you leave this school in 180 days, in theory, you're reading. What about the fact that that child needs to learn how to love, needs to learn how to share, needs to learn that they are powerful? There is not enough time put on that unless the teacher has it within themselves. Like with me, I found time for that. We're going to do that because I understand the power for it. I understand that power. And that's what school needs. It needs to be a part of the curriculum, because, as in myself, no matter how smart you are, you can have a 4.0, you can make all A's, you can make all A's and B's. If you don't understand your power, you are not going to reach your full potential. That's why we have the suicide rate rising in children. 5-year-old committing suicide because that baby was not taught you are powerful. You are worthy. No one took the time to sit down and say, like you just said, how are you doing? Mm-hmm. I have decided to teach online. Mm-hmm. And one of my school system gave teachers an option to either be a virtual online teacher or to go back to the classroom once things are open. And I chose to stay online because mentally, I teach second grade. Mm-hmm. I would start my class every day by having a child give me a hug, because that would allow for me to check and see, did something happen on the bus and you're mentally not right? Did something happen at home? And I would fix it right then and there. I mean, literally, I would fix it. What do I need to do? What do I need to say? What do you need from me to get a smile on your face? You need to hug a friend. You need what? I would do that. Mm-hmm. I would not be able to do that now. I live in an area with lots of military families. My dad is going to be gone for 8 months and he's leaving tomorrow. And from 6 feet away, I'm supposed to console this child? No. That would mess me up mentally. Right. And so these are the things that need to be part of the curriculum. Just like with anything, every day, we need to practice. They need to practice mindset, personal development every day in order to be truly successful. 18 years, this is part of my perseverance. 18 years, I sat down quietly, not realizing my power.
Right.
My classroom, my first year of teaching. Your first year of teaching, many people make excuses, but those of you who are watching, you know that making an excuse gives away your power.
Mm-hmm.
People make that, oh, it's just my first year. It's my first year. Almost as if to say, if I do totally bad this year and these kids don't get everything that they need, okay.
It ain't
It's
on
my
me.
first year.
Right, right,
My
right.
first year teaching in Chicago, the good Chicago. My
Mm-hmm.
classroom was chosen. Chicago schools go from pre-K to 8th grade. My classroom was chosen, one of 5 from the entire school, as a model classroom for all of the other teachers to come and look at.
Right.
You would think that that would have said, Keisha, you have something special. You have the gift of teaching. But because my mindset wasn't right, I didn't see it.
Wow.
My 3rd year of teaching, 4th year of teaching, the lady who was in charge of reading for the entire district came and toured our classrooms. And when
Mm-hmm.
she came into my classroom, kindergarten, the kindergarten students were so into my lesson that it was time for recess. And they said, we don't want to go outside for recess. We want to continue to learn. The head of reading,
Woo! Ain't that powerful?
but I couldn't see it. I
Mm.
still couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Head of the curriculum department of reading and literacy. When I wanted to go to another school, she wrote a letter of recommendation for me. I still couldn't see it. It took me 18 years before I finally, even with Les Brown, when he interviewed me on his program, he called me later that night and he said, I rewatched that 4 times. You have teaching on the inside of you. If you are familiar with Les Brown, you know I'm the one. You know his whole speech.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Me. And he said, you're the one.
The one.
I still couldn't see it. And I could give you more stories. But perseverance, first, you have to want better.
Yeah.
And when you want better, you have to go back and work on your mind.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted better. I wanted out of my unhealthy marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But I was not able to do better until I worked on my mind.
Right.
And when I started, those of you who've seen different programs, you see my little paper here. It's ripped up even more now. You've seen this paper. Some of you have. I wrote this at 3:15 a.m. August 9th, 2018. I did not start believing this stuff until this year. So that perseverance, whatever it is that you need, for me, it was understanding my power. It took me reading this every single day. I put sticky notes everywhere. Can you span out a little bit so I can show you some of it? If you guys can see, I've got sticky notes on my desk. These are sticky notes with quotes on it. I have them all around, and I look at them over and over and over and over, and it has taken years for me to get to this point. So that perseverance, it starts with you wanting better, but you're going to have to work on your mind, and it's going to be hard. You're not going to believe it. You're not. But you're going to have to be determined to continue to do it every single day.
Mm-hmm.
It might take years. I think about Tina Turner, and most of you guys on here know her stories. Most of you guys have probably seen the movie.
Look, I'm about to put you on the spotlight. I feel like you're talking to me. I might be in the background crying.
You think about Tina Turner, and I'm assuming that most of you guys have seen the movie, and I don't know why the part that's coming into my mind just eat the cake, anime, eat the cake, and I shouldn't be laughing at that. But in her story, being with Ike, and he was whooping her tail, and everybody knew it. And it continued to go on. In 1968, she wanted better. And she showed that she wanted better by trying to kill herself. She took 50 pills. The only better that she saw at that point was to kill herself. 1968. But when she didn't die, she realized, okay, I have a reason for being here. 1968, she wanted better. She had to work on her mind. She started studying Buddhism. I'm sure you guys have seen Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. She didn't actually leave Ike until 1976. When you decide that you want better, you still have to do the work. It's going to be hard. It's going to work. When I first started this, I was still married. I was like Tina Turner. My marriage was not physically abusive, but it was mentally and emotionally abusive. And there was one day I decided I wanted better. I was on the phone with my friend Keisha. My ex-husband is a firefighter. So some days he would be at home. Some days he'll be at work, because when you work for the fire department, you have a 24-hour schedule. 24 hours, I'm great. I got home, his vehicle was in the driveway, and I sat in the driveway, and I said, Keisha, I don't even want to go in the house. I don't want to deal with this. I sat there after I got off the phone with her, and I was like, man, I felt like Jenny from Forrest Gump. Dear Lord, please make me a bird so I can fly far, far away from here. I didn't want to go in the house. And you have to decide that you are the only one that is holding you down. You have to decide that you're not going to let you hold you down anymore. I had some people saying, can't you just put up with it? I had someone to say to me, go out and do your own thing. He's a fire captain. He makes good money. But I had to decide. I'm 38 years old. I plan on living longer than I've already lived. I'm not able to keep going on like this. But it still took me months before I finally left.
Yeah.
So work that perseverance. You get I want better, but you got to work on your mind. You got to work on your mind, and you've got to go after it. So like your life depends on it, because it does. If I had still been in that marriage, I wouldn't be here right now, because I wouldn't have gone to the Lisa Nichols event. I would not have met you. I would not have found my voice. In order for your greatness and live life, you're gonna, whatever that obstacle is, I don't care how big it is, you've got to determine that you have the power in you to get through it. And it's going to be hard. You're going to cry. You're going to be lonely. Perfect. I'm at peace now. I found my voice now. I'm creating. I am finally doing what I was placed on here to do. And you can do it too.
Yeah. Look, y'all know how, like, when we be on the computer, we be cute up top, but we got sweatpants on the bottom. It don't matter. Y'all have to see my sweatpants today. That's a standing ovation right there, baby. Woo! Yeah. Good thing y'all couldn't see my ashy kneecaps, though. Listen, that was good. Come on now.
Thank you.
Elkie says, ooh, that's so good. Such transparency and truth. I'm in tears. I can completely relate to this. Brandy said, woo, yes. Antoinette Marie, come on in the room. Keisha, I can just hear her saying that. Come on in the room. I can just hear it. You are healing many right now. Keep pushing, beloved. Absolutely. Raymond, I know that's right. Raymond, guys, look. Yeah. Come on, they going crazy, girl. I love it. I feel like I should just close the whole computer down and leave it with that, because it ain't gonna get no better than that right there. Yes, brought down the house on that one. I love it. Woo! So she said you know what? I ain't even gonna go there. I was about, I was about to start talking like this camera ain't on, this live ain't going. Y'all can't. You're not gonna get me caught up, Brandy. Oh man, sis, listen. You are such a light for so many right now. Antoinette said it best. You are freeing people right now.
Thank you.
And you really do have that. Free your greatness could not suit you better. That came from the depths of the depth. Like, and when you get to the depth, that came from its depth. And it's bare. Yes, honey. That's where that came from. And Les Brown also was right. You are the one. You are the one for this. And it's so great to see someone step into that and find that and be that one for that one specific thing that you were sent here to do, because it promotes freeing your greatness, because then it gives us permission as well.
Yes.
Everybody can relate to that feeling. You know, I don't care if it's down to the smallest bracelet you've made, to the winning shot that you took, or to the one word that somebody came back and told you that meant everything. We all have that moment, those fling moments of when we're like, oh, I was in the right place at the right time, or oh, I did that, or oh, I was the only one that could have made that happen. But there is something in all of us that could be a lifetime thing. That could be a feeling that goes beyond just a fleeting moment. It could be who we really are when we give ourselves permission to truly free our greatness. And that right there alone is rapid perseverance. That is the power of persevering, because when you do, when you keep pushing, when you do not give up, that's what happens. It has to happen, because you refuse to stop. And if you don't stop, it will find you. Yes. And you are truly powerful soul, sister. Go ahead. What'd you say?
And the thing about with that is me having that goal of meeting and shaking Les Brown's hand. Once it was realized, I wasn't able to picture it as such. I visualized working with him. I visualized shaking his hand. I didn't visualize Les Brown being wowed by me.
Right.
I didn't visualize having a friendship with him. I talk to him every day. And when you free your greatness, it's going to be more beautiful than you can ever imagine. You're going to be able, if you do the work, it's work. And you have to continue to believe, and you have to make sure you're taking positivity into your mindset. It's work. But when you get it, it's going to be extraordinary beyond your wildest dreams. But you have to be like Beyonce, because that was at the top for me. That was so, I won't say it's at the top, but that was so big that I had to keep telling myself, like, okay, Keisha, this is not it. So we have to be like Beyonce. She said, I can never be comfortable. I always try and go against the grain. As soon as I accomplish one thing, I set a higher goal. And that's what we have to make sure we do. Don't ever get to the point of complacency. Don't become mediocre. You've got to continue to go, okay, I got this. And this is, whoa. Keisha, did you do that? Whoa. But now it's like, okay.
You did it.
But now it's like, okay, now you got to keep going. You got to keep going. So I want to say to you all, when you get that, it's like, take it as a stepping stone. Take it as a step. I got this step. Now I need the next step. And I need the next step. Because that happened for me within a year. Within a year.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot more out here for me to do. And it's the same thing. Whatever you have done, from the smallest to the greatest, continue to set higher goals and have your celebrations. I don't know where this is coming from, but somebody have your celebrations. Set your goals and have those celebrations, even if it's just as something as you getting up and dancing and ordering yourself something from the nearest restaurant. Have some type of celebration, because Catherine Jones, I don't know if she's watching, she said, and I learned this from her, what gets celebrated gets repeated.
Amen. Amen. That is very true, because everybody likes that. Everybody wants to celebrate something. Everybody likes the things that go on inside when we celebrate things. And you're right. And we start to crave that feeling. So when we celebrate something, like, oh, let me go do something else to celebrate, you know, and it keeps us going. And one thing that you pointed out, you said, you know, it took you a year to get to that place. And a lot of people use time as an excuse. But just know that year is going to go by anyway. It's going to go on bye-bye. That year is going to go. So don't use time as an excuse. You got to do it now and keep being persistent, being and persevering through all these things in order to get to that feeling and be able to celebrate. I just want to go ahead and throw this out here as we start to wrap up in the next 10, 15 minutes or so, that if anyone with kids has any questions, or if anybody got any questions for Keisha, just because I see one that we're getting ready to address now, just put them in the comments. We'll get to them. I mean, I got time, but, we ain't trying to be on here all day. Cause we're not. Cause we're not. All right. So Antoinette Marie said, Keisha, do you have your? And I already read the comment after this one too. But do you developed it? She did answer that, but if you just go ahead and give a recap for those who didn't catch that part.
I am in the process of doing that right now. I am in the process of developing a curriculum. I have already written 10 mini readers for starting off. This is going to be for beginning readers. I don't want to put an age on it because as I've been tutoring this summer, I've noticed that I'm working with children 5th grade, 6th grade, and I'm giving them some content that they should have mastered and be able to tell me about in 1st grade. So I'm developing a curriculum now, easy readers. I've developed 10 books so far, and I'm developing the way that the phonics should be taught, and all of my sheets and everything will have a positive message in it. So yes, that January 1st, I plan to have my For Your Greatness reading curriculum published and on the market.
Yes, get you some, get that early, put that early order in. Let's go.
Yeah, pre-orders.
Said, maybe I missed this. Do you have a 501c? Better yet, create the nonprofit and collaborate. I saw that earlier. I was just like, try not to laugh.
Well, you know what?
I was like, hey, listen, things organically happen. Let's just leave it at that.
I don't have it. But
so things organically happen. So hey, you never know what may be happening behind the scenes. You never know. Yes, I don't know who said that, but yes, I agree. All right, so I think this was Elkie, but celebrating is so powerful. It even helps us moms. Yep, it's Elkie. Moms potty train our babies. I know it's silly, but it's the first thing I thought of, and it's very true. It is. Celebration is powerful in any aspect, any age, any situation. So this was awesome. Thank you, Brandy. Keisha's always awesome. Yes, it was. I can't wait to watch the beginning that I missed. Oh, Elkie, definitely go back and watch the beginning, girl. Fix your face, Carrie. I can't, Brandy. All right. Well, Sister Keisha, you already know I love you. This is my girl. I'm trying to get her to come down here. We're Labor Day weekend. That's the plan. So we might have to do a little teaser while they're here. We ain't gonna do no whole lot. We're gonna do just enough to make them jealous.
And we'll have to start it with what's
up. Exactly. All right. So as we close out, what is that last message that you want to leave everybody with? You know what? Before you say that, because I want to close out with just you. Let me go ahead and give my closing disclaimers, because when she get done, I know the mic will be like, because we're gonna drop it. So I want to say thank you all so much for being here with me today. Thank you so much for always riding with me. Thank you so much for always believing in me. And there's some of you on here that y'all already know. Y'all at the top of that list for believing in me, and I appreciate it. It does not go unnoticed. Second of all, Rise Up is coming up. So please, I will post the Eventbrite link in the comments. Don't forget, we have the Rise Up Masterclass coming up 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. That is this weekend. Yes, it is in August, and yes, we are ready. So please get your tickets, $97. It'll be worth every penny because it's worth. We told it up. It came around $6,000 or whatever. And best believe it's the last time we're doing it for $97. So go look. I'll put the link in the bottom. Go check it out. It's got everything that includes all the bonuses, all of that. We look forward to seeing y'all there because it's going to be hot. Elkie, you better tell them. So anyway, as we close out, I just want to say I love you. Always remember to be your own kind of beautiful. right there. Because everybody's beautiful like the same, but all of it is just as beautiful as the other. Love you too, Brandy.
Love
All
you.
right. So, what last words would you like to leave the people with today, my special guest, Keisha Yearby?
I think I want to leave you all with two quotes. Number one, and I have to read it because I haven't memorized them yet. Those of you who know me know how much I like quotes. I find this to be completely true. In order for you to free your greatness, in order for you to be happy, I truly believe that in order for you to really and truly to be happy and to live a life that you don't need a vacation from. Lots of people are like, oh, it's Monday. You need to have a life where each and every day you wake up and you're happy. Oh, it's Monday. Oh, is it Monday? You need to have that life that you don't have to wait. Thank God it's Friday. You need to have that life where each and every day you have released your greatness. You're walking in your calling and you're happy for another opportunity to be able to live, to be able to bless someone, to be able to smile, and to be able to enjoy your life. So here's one quote. It says, the best day of your life is the one on which you decide that your life is your own. No apologies or excuses. No one to lean on, rely on, or blame. The gift is yours. It is an amazing journey, and you alone are responsible for the quality of it. This is the day your life truly begins. That's by Bob Moab.
Mm.
And for myself, once I stopped blaming my parents for the things that they did and the things that they didn't do, once I stopped blaming my ex husband, once I stopped blaming the men that I dated after that, and I realized, Keisha, you have to fix this. You have to figure out what the problem is. You have to go and heal. And part of that is what's written on this paper about what I thought love was. And I had to tell myself over and over and over. And now that I've taken the responsibility, I do wake up every day and I'm happy to wake up and enjoy my life.
Mm-hmm.
You can do the same. And the next one that I have is from my mentor, Mr. Les Brown, who I call Brownie, and you guys know this one. If you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, if you gladly sweat for it and plan for it and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold, poverty, famish, or gout, sickness or pain of body or brain can keep you away from that thing that you want, if dogged and grim you beseech and beset it, with the help of God, you will get it. I've been able to live it, and you can do it too. Go out and make your best life. Thank
Woo!
you.
On that note, we're going to see y'all next Sunday. 2 o'clock, same time, same place. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Bye. Thank you.